Hello, everyone. My name is Ashley. I am the Associate Director at NAMI Wood County. I'm joined here with Jessica, our Executive Director at NAMI Wood County, and Kendra. Kendra is a registered dietitian as well as a USAT certified triathlon coach, and she's here today as part of our PreBurn Virtual 5K to talk more about hydration and nutrition. So thanks for joining us today, Kendra.
Pleasure to be here and to chat with you guys. This is a great thing. Doing a 5K exercise is awesome. It does a lot for the body, not just only physically, but mentally as well. But also making sure that you take care of your body nutritionally is very important. So I'm really excited to talk to you a little bit about that today.
Great. So, Kendra, we have a lot of folks who are doing their first race. So, what are some important things they should be considering in regards to fueling and hydration?
It's a really great question. So, especially someone who's new to running, it's going to be a new feeling for your body all in general, right? Like you're doing something that you haven't done before. So you're probably not fueling, something that you haven't done before. So things like a 5K that might take you anywhere between, 30 to 40, maybe if you're newer, a little bit longer minutes, you really, during that activity, you're good with just water, just good hydration. And if you don't want to carry around like a belt or whatever, making sure you're really hydrated before that event or that workout, and then refueling after that workout. So in that 30 to 40-minute period, you're really good on just what you ate before, and then of course your recovery. If your workout is lasting longer than between like 60 and 90 minutes, that's when you would need to start incorporating some fuel into your workouts. Exactly. Of course, during like a 5K, they usually have one water station. Definitely use it, especially on a hot day. On these virtual 5Ks, they're self-supported, so there aren't going to be any water stations for you. So if you're a heavy sweater, or if it's going to take you a little bit longer to complete those 3 miles, then you might need to carry something with you. Mm-hmm. Definitely. Two, the weather plays a big part of it. If it gets really, really hot, I'm a sweater to begin with, and when it gets hot, like I'm just drenched. So something that's going to take me between 30 and 40 minutes, I might need some fluids. But you don't need anything like any electrolyte beverage or something like that. You're really going to be okay for a 5K distance. Now, longer distances, of course, you can replenish with those types of things. But for a 5K, you should really just be good with water.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Kind of like fueling before your workout, a lot of us, I feel like, are just chronically dehydrated all the time. We don't drink enough water throughout the day. So then when we try to exercise, we're really, really slow and we feel fatigued. So making sure that you're just hydrated throughout the day is going to be really important for any exercise that you do after work. I did some, research with statistics, and the effect that chronic mild hydration has on us is incredible. So it can contribute to so many other comorbidities just by not drinking enough water throughout the day. Mm-hmm. And that doesn't have to do anything with like doing a 5K or exercise. That's more or less just making sure that you are well hydrated throughout the day. Is going to help set you up for success for those exercises in that 5K that you're going to do later in the afternoon, or if you want to run in the morning, making sure that you're hydrated before that as well. Now, I want to talk a little bit about sweating. So usually you lose some water weight while you sweat, and you replenish that after you work out. So you're drinking your normal fluids, maybe have like a small snack. You definitely don't need a huge meal before your 5K, because that's really going to upset your stomach, and you're going to start feeling all the gurglies. So just having something like a small piece of fruit, maybe if, a little bit of like a sport drink might be helpful before your workout, before your race. That keeps you hydrated and fueled. You do your race, and then you've lost a ton of sweat and now you have to replace that. So usually like the rule of thumb is for every 1 pound that you lose in water weight or sweat, you would drink 2 to 3 cups of water. Now, if you don't know how much you weighed before and weighed yourself after, just kind of do it as like a time rule of thumb. So if it took you about like 30 minutes to an hour, replenish with like 3 cups of water, depending on how much you sweat. So and that would be afterwards. And it doesn't have to be right after you finish racing. Just make sure it's when that 1 to 2 hour window post your race for recovery.
Great. Yeah, I'm thinking too, with a race like this where you don't have aid stations, since it's virtual, something I've done is maybe I'll carry a water bottle halfway out and then kind of drop it and leave it like, maybe not in someone's front yard, but in a bush or something. And on my way back, I'm like, oh, great, it's there, and I can drink it if I don't like carrying it with me. Are there other things you can think of that might help with, or things you've had through races that have helped carry nutrition, or, staying hydrated?
Yeah. The aid stations are very helpful, but they do have like some belts. Some water bottles have like a handhold thing that you can get. Something that I did on my really long runs that might not be applicable for this is I made sure there was a gas station on the route, and I like stopped in and would get a water bottle. Like obviously I wouldn't drink the whole thing, but I would get like the dollar ones and I would drink some and then like carry it, a half mile and then throw it away at a garbage can. So on those long runs for maybe someone who's doing more than a 5K that, is self-supported, that might be an option too, making sure your route around like, a gas station, a CVS or something like that. But I have done the thing where I've ditched my water bottle in like at a turnaround point. So maybe not in a neighbor's yard, but like your house, like if you're going to make a multiple loop, you can have your own aid stations. Like if your like block is a half mile, doing that twice, you can stop back at your house and fuel yourself that way.
Great. So do you have any advice for our folks that are maybe doing their first race, or maybe it's their first virtual 5K and are feeling nervous, or, just need some extra motivation to get out there and do the race?
Absolutely. So, never tell yourself it's just a 5K. Like that is exercise. You are doing it. Like that is, it's not just, it's just a mile walk. It's just, 3 miles. Like that is awesome. And you need to own it. Like you need to make sure that you are doing a 5K and you are completing it. You are walking a mile. You are walking 3 miles. Like never tell yourself it's just this. It's, just this distance, because that distance that you're doing, whether you're walking it or running it, that is more distance than somebody else who's not. And if even if you didn't do as well as you wanted to, you still did it. You still did something, and building that habit and building that is going to help just overall in time get better. And even though it's we always say like it's waking up is the hard part of an early workout, right? It's getting out the door, and then once you're doing it, you're fine. So someone who do a 5K or virtual 5K who might be a little nervous, just plan your route. Map it out. I use the map, just map my route on my phone. I did run it a few times before, or if you don't want to run it, drive it. See like, okay, there's a stop sign here. There's a stoplight here. Or if you've done 5Ks in the past, use an old route. I'm running another virtual 5K and it's a 10K, but I was like, why not just do the route? Like I live right here. So that way you're using something that's familiar, because it's virtual and that's foreign to us. Using a route that's familiar is going to make it a little bit easier and a little less daunting for when you actually record your results. Now, if you're doing this like a 5K for the first time and you've never ran before, like doing one virtual that is self-supported is hard. So like that's already a feat in itself. Doing something that you're doing for yourself by yourself is incredible. So don't discredit that. Like if someone says, oh, that just not only is it just a 5K, it's just a virtual 5K. Like no, like that's awesome. So even if you have to slow down, like It's okay. It's natural. Like over time, like if you run the same pace, you know, for a long time, your body is naturally going to have shifts where you would feel like you work harder. Just the way that all of your blood flow starts happening, you start sweating, and it's going to feel harder to run the same pace. And that's okay. It's okay to be tired, or it's okay for it to feel like it hurts. But not that it hurts like your body wise, but that it's uncomfortable. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It's okay to feel uncomfortable during this race. But that means that you're working hard, and that is incredible. So make sure you tell yourself after you finish this race, or if you're halfway through, you're like, I'm halfway through and I'm feeling, you know, not so great. You're like, but you're halfway there. So either if you have to slow down, that's okay, because next time you'll make it a little bit further without slowing down. Or like if you have to walk, like it's okay to walk. Like nobody's telling you how to walk during, you know, a 5K or a race. Like, you know, something that I tell my athletes at this is your race. Like ignore the people around. Like, you know, everything is going to be different for the person next to you. Like they might be having a blister that's like affecting them, or this person might be having a cramp. Those things don't affect anyone, you know. The things that are going to affect you. So just make sure you focus on your race. And being a virtual 5K, that might be a little bit easier because it's just you. You don't have to worry about the person next to you trying to pass you, or, you know, hearing footsteps behind you, like, oh, I got to speed up. Like that's kind of like the positive about these virtual 5Ks, is that it is your race and you can make it your race.
Yeah. I know one thing we're going to do for fun. I got some sidewalk chalk. So we thought, oh, we'll like sidewalk chalk up, you know, a start and finish line. So it's like, oh, cool. You know, I still have something to kind of head towards, if you will, or like feel celebratory. And we're really excited to have this event to help people stay active, but also just taking good care of ourselves during this stressful time. So do you have any questions, Jessica, or anything you want to add?
No, I don't have any questions right now.
Great.
So something that I definitely want to add with the sidewalk chalk making it more fun is that, you know, my group of athletes, you know, who are completing this race, including Ashley, we're all doing it on the same day. So that way it feels like a 5K to us. Like we have to show up at a certain time, a certain day, we're going to do it, and then we're all going to talk about it later, just like if we were there. I have a local athlete that we're going to try to run it together. We're at the same pace, kind of, and we're going to pick a route and we're going to do it. And so that way it's kind of like doing it together. And but even if you just want to like pick someone who's doing, you know, the pre-burn, and be like, hey, let's do it on Tuesday night, like you and me together. And if you don't want to physically run together, but separately. Run at the same time and then talk about it later. More fun.
Yeah, definitely. Well, thanks for joining us, Kendra. It was so good to see you and have you be part of our pre-burn.
Absolutely. If anyone has any nutrition questions, you know, feel free to reach out to either, you know, either one of these two wonderful ladies, and they can refer, you know, those questions on to me. You know, I'm always happy to help people who need a little bit of, you know, nutrition assistance, especially with something that's new to them, like running. So absolutely, I'm totally open for any of those types of questions.
All right. Thank you.
Kendra, thanks so much for your time. We really appreciate you coming on and chatting with us.
Absolutely. Absolutely.